What's up, Trainiacs? Today I'm going to share with you a secret recipe used to help bonking triathletes and cyclists save their legs when they start cramping up, start feeling good, and still need to go on. It includes Coke and others. So what's up, Trainiacs? Very quick video today, and this relates to something that I tested out over the last, say, month or so that I've had huge success with. So, friend of mine who used to lead cycling tours in Europe, he said that when one of the athletes that had paid money to come over to Europe and get led around and have really enjoyable cycling times was having very unenjoyable cycling times, they would take one of these little mini cans of Coke and they would create a NUKE, which is a little mini can of Coke and a NUKE. So they would take the NUKE, which is an electrolyte tablet that dissolves in water, and it really dissolves in Coca-Cola, I say it that way. Give it just a little bit of a shake to flatten it out so it didn't create all of that burping in the stomach, and basically, boom! Instantly, that rider had new legs and they were able to get through the next half hour, couple of hours by going on that little recipe. Now, if you go to most Ironman branded events, they will have Coke on the course. And a lot of people tend to avoid it because they haven't tried it in training. Rightfully so. But I would recommend that in your training, you get used to training with Coke. And there are a few reasons why something like a NUKE is the absolute perfect rescue drink. Solution, mix, secret. So the reason that Coke, for starters, is so good for triathletes, especially with these little cans, is because it's the perfect solution to assimilate a lot of sugar into your bloodstream really, really quickly. Things like gels, chews, and bars, your body has to break down from a solid into a liquid before it can actually assimilate the sugar that's in it. In addition to that, it's also got caffeine. That caffeine is going to give you a little bit of a pep, and it's going to decrease the perception of pain while you're out there. However, I wouldn't just recommend Coke alone. That's why the NUKE is so powerful. Because a lot of times when people are bonking, it's not necessarily only because of a lack of calories and a requirement for really refined, easy to access sugar. It might also be because at that point in the race, the athlete has sweated out a lot of the electrolytes and the body is starting to shut down because it doesn't have the electrolytes to make the muscles fire. Now, that's why you'll see people with salt tubes that towards the latter half of a race, they will actually be like taking straight salt, licking their thumb, shaking it, licking it again, as much as every 5 to 10 minutes. And this is what I'm starting to experiment with. Over the last month or so, I've been trying to get more Coke in me when I'm going for my brick runs, going for a run that is like the second workout of a day, coming off of either a swim or a bike, and I've got the potential to start cramping, start fading a little bit because I've been already working out for 2, 3, 4 hours, and I've found that Coke has been really good. However, yesterday, what I did was, because I'm not a huge fan of NUKE, I took this can of Coke, put it into a glass, and then I just wanted to test out if electrolytes and salt alone would be enough. So I took this and I crushed a fair bit of salt just right into it, and it was like this just glorious, salty magic. And I went out and I cranked out a 7K run at 4:22 per kilometer pace after a really hard 3-hour, 40-minute bike. And I was out there in the wind on the bike, and I didn't think I'd have anything left for the run. And I could feel while I was on the run that typically where my body would start seizing up, it didn't in this case. Now, can you carry a Coke? And can you carry all these NUKE packets, or can you carry yourself a salt grinder in races? No. but here's what you can do. If you have trained to have Coke towards the latter half of the race, that means you've taken Coke in multiple training scenarios leading into your race. Go and take your calories primarily from Coke at every single aid station, getting a good amount in you. Then to get the electrolytes in you, what I would get is a little tube, which is about the size of a pinky. Fill that up with your favorite really strong electrolyte powder. In my case, I'm going to start exclusively using SOS Rehydrate, and I'm going to take that tube, I'm going to fill it with SOS Rehydrate, and every 5 to 10 minutes, I'm going to shake that tube, lick the thumb, get it on there, and then get the electrolytes there. So I'm getting all of my sugar in really easy to access calories at every single aid station in smaller doses than 90 calories, maybe at every aid station. I'm taking on about 30 calories, which will work out perfectly because you want to take on somewhere around 90 calories every half hour. So every 10 minutes, 30 calories works out. And then I'm also not going to be lacking the electrolytes because I'll be taking that separately. And as far as fluids go, it's right there. So I'm not going to have a ton of things sloshing around in my stomach trying to get my fluids from water and electrolyte drinks, and then calories from gels getting all over me, and electrolytes. I'm kind of just putting it all together in 2 separate packages that are very easy to access and carry. Not bad, right? Now, don't get carried away and think that Coke is, by any stretch of the imagination, a health food. It's more like a rescue mix when you are absolutely smashed and right in the bitter end of a race. But if we're training to get ourselves to that bitter end of the race, we can have a little bit in training because the training itself is going to be really hard. And then by the time we get to the race, we're going to be ready to take down that Coke and reward ourselves. There we go, Trainiacs. If you aren't already subscribed, hit the subscribe button below. And if you are subscribed, you are like a cold Coke with salt in it on a really hot day known as yesterday. Oh man, that tasted good. That was so good.